Hello, everyone, and welcome to ESC League of Legends. We have NIU versus Ohio. On our casting desk tonight is me, Austin125, and with me is.
It's Connor Vagel. Welcome in, and welcome to the broadcast once again, Austin. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Pretty
That's
good.
great to hear. Great to hear. This should be a close one.
Yeah.
Earlier on, when they were doing the rankings of the teams based on like preseason, and well, I guess there wasn't a preseason this year, but based on ending of last year, actually pulling ranks and everything, NIU I think was number 10 in the conference. Ohio was number 9, so this should be a really fun one. Two really close knit teams. On top of that, going to be a very interesting one considering the fact that that both these teams are looking to open up their accounts in the win column here. So both starting the season 0-3 with some tough competition. So definitely going to be an interesting one to start. But I believe we're going to be jumping to champ select already. Yeah, very quickly here. So looking at it, NIU going to be on the red side to start us off, and Ohio on the blue side.
I'm going.
There's that Rumble ban we saw last week. Not going to be any surprises there.
No, I mean, we saw last year throughout the year, Beach Hillin did not get. I think he got to play Rumble one time. He's sitting on a competitive 100% win rate on the champion.
Nice.
So yeah, we're gonna see Ohio take that one away again. They do not want to see that. Lilia, another AP carry there that can be taken off the board. I think that one's just been insanely strong during this patch. So I like to see that it's banned away. NIU taking off the Olaf, of course, to start us off.
We must all make our choices.
No surprises here as Karma's going to be banned away. And wow,
That's
actually
an
a
interesting
Mumu,
one.
a very quick ban there. So I think that means very likely with that Amumu ban that Ohio is posturing here towards a Maokai pick. You tend to want to take a Mumu off the board if you're going to try to first pick that Maokai, because that's one of the few matchups he has a hard time to as the support. We'll see if NIU wants to ban it away here. And instead, they go ahead and ban the Jarvan. So I would expect that we're going to see Ohio pick Maokai for Lust here. I wouldn't imagine that they'd let that go through, but actually, instead, I'm
okay.
wrong, and it's going to be Ezreal picked up here for the side of Ohio.
I mean, my personal favorite character, so I'm excited to see some of this.
There you go. I mean, he's definitely a fun ADC. We've been obviously we're still seeing that what's the champ called? Smolder is taken off. Is not available right now, but yeah, Maokai, I hear you're oohing over there about the about that pick. I think that's a great one there for the side of NIU. And it's definitely something that Bootware plays quite a bit, so there should be some interest in that one, especially because even though Bootware plays quite a bit of it, that can really be a quadruple flex. So really, Maokai can be your top laner, jungler, mid laner, or the support, and it's pretty viable in all 4 roles.
Okay.
And NIU going for a little bit of trickery here, having that Nico is going to make it just as viable because especially with a level 1, you're not really sure if Maokai is going to go towards the top side. Obviously, based on who ends up taking him, you kind of have an idea.
Yeah.
But they could always throw some trickery around with that Nico, so it should be a fun one.
Yeah.
Zyra picked up here by the side of Ohio, which is interesting because it leaves them with a really squishy bot lane into that Maokai. I'm not sure that I like that necessarily. I guess it does give you some disengage with the root there, but Hui going to be picked up as well. So just adding to that that long range kind of control mage heavy build that we're seeing coming out from Ohio.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting time down mid to see that Hui and the matchup there. Wondering what we're going to see from the side of NIU if it is going to be Nico.
Yeah, I mean, there's a high likelihood, you're absolutely right, that Nico goes towards that mid lane, but we could see that go really, I mean, it's almost as flexible as the Maokai is, so it gives you a lot of opportunities here to play some draft kingdom, and Jhin at least is the one character that we know where he's going to go, although there was some experimentation with that Jhin jungle for a little bit, but I would imagine that's not going to be the case here in this one. Udyr going to be taken off the board. Again, can be flexible with that pick.
The
That can go
warrior's
towards the
spirit
top
is
lane
never
or
broken.
towards the jungle as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Xin Zhao now going to be taken off the board here by the side of Ohio.
Down to our last two bands here. Interested to see what's going to come out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, NIU taking their time with this last one, really wanting to get a priority on either the jungle or the top lane role. They'll have the last pick to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is going to be the Cassante ban as well. So NIU must be cooking up something a little different here for the side of Fury
Mm-hmm.
against Delirious here, because taking away that Cassante definitely leaves a little bit more of a carry matchup up towards the top lane.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to see if that's where they elect to go with it, or if it's something like an Ornn that could really just slow down the lane.
Yeah. I like we have Tim in the chat saying NIU should pick Malphite because he is cool. I also agree. Malphite is pretty cool.
Malphite is. I mean, he rocks.
He does. He quite literally rocks.
Aatrox's going to be the one hovered here. We've seen Fury try to get some priority on that champ quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually been... You know, I didn't get a chance to review Saturday's game as much. Thank you to everybody that showed up to Rocket League Rev Up. Kept me busy that day, but Aatrox definitely something that prior to that matchup we were seeing played into Fury quite a bit. So
Yes.
I'm pretty interested to see where they elect to go with things
Absolutely.
from here. Now, what I'm curious about is
Ooh.
this seems to be leaving potentially the jungle last pick for the counter here, or for something hidden for a high prio type of pick.
Mm-hmm.
I know that he likes to play it. I'm really curious. Ooh, it could be interesting into the Trundle. The Trundle does kind of shut it down, but I'm wondering if we're getting a Belveth angle here. As a Belveth one trick myself, I mean, I would love to see it, and I know that we see a little bit of the Belveth from Broccoli in solo queue, so I'm curious if he goes that direction here. I would have to imagine it's probably going to be something more...
Ooh,
Oh,
Evelyn.
I was going to say engage heavy, but Evelyn is...
Okay.
I mean, that's engage, but you got the assassination there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We'll see if they lock it in, because that's definitely an interesting pick. Not something you see in competitive as often. And with 1 second left, it is going to be locked in. So the Evelyn here for Broccoli is quite interesting. I'm really curious to see how that one's going to play out.
Making our swaps, trying to see it does look like that's Maokai on support here for NIU.
Yeah, and so across the board, it's going to be Ornn into the Aatrox, Trundle into the Evelyn, Quay into the Nico, Ezreal into Jhin, and Zyra into Maokai. So NIU definitely has a little bit more of a true tank lineup here with the two with Maokai and Aatrox. On the side of Ornn, on the side of Ohio, you're looking a little bit more at the kind of a singular tank with that Ornn, but Trundle is going to be kind of an off-tank bruiser, and so he could definitely get up tanky but it really depends on how the early game gets played. So I'm genuinely curious how this one ends up going.
Yeah. And I mean, we're probably going to see some pretty good engages come level 6 bottom. I mean, with Jhin and his, sort of traps, and then Maokai's ultimate, I mean, we could see some pretty deadly combos there. If the enemy oversteps a little bit, I mean, we could see a pretty hard punish there.
Yeah, absolutely. The Deadly Flourish into the Curtain Call can be a really interesting combo. So I'm excited to see how we're going to see this one played out, because I think that there's some, like you said, there are some really interesting and fun interactions that we could see with some of these champions.
Yeah,
I think NIU...
Yep.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to say, I just think NIU might play a little bit safer here on the bot lane. I mean, with the Maokai, you can engage quite a bit, but Ezreal Zyra going to have the opportunity to disengage quite a bit. Now, if they can get Fury on this Aatrox ahead, I think that's really where they want to play towards. Ornn, obviously, a champ that can play pretty safe in lane.
Yep.
But if Aatrox can get ahead, that's definitely going to start the snowball. So
yeah,
I'd have to
Absolutely.
imagine that either the top or the mid focus is going to be coming out from NIU.
Hmm.
On the side of Ohio, I have to imagine they're probably going to try to protect that bot lane,
Hmm.
and coming out of the lane even is probably coming out ahead for the side of Ohio.
Hmm. Absolutely, and I'm curious to see what this Trundle's going to look like. I mean, typically you see Trundle top flexes to jungle, could be either one, but we are seeing Trundle jungle, and I know that with this new 14 patch, I know they've had 14.1 and 2, trying to patch some things up, make things more even, but he seems really strong. From everything I've seen, Trundle just seems like he's a bruiser and he's going to get in your face, and he could be a little bit of a nuisance to deal with. So keeping the you know keeping all the resources away from him to kind of lessen his effect, I think it'd be a good play.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, Trundle has been one of the best suited champs to the item changes
Hmm.
out of all of them.
Yes.
He's had a really nice time with it.
Hmm.
So I am genuinely, well, I've said genuinely a lot. Geez. But anyway, it's gonna be fun to watch and see if Styx is able to pilot that champion correctly.
Yes.
Uh, I mean, obviously, we're hoping that Broccoli is able to get that early lead, and
Hmm.
on a champ like Evelyn, if
Hmm.
he's able to snowball, then he has the opportunity to really take over this game. Same with Beachillin on the Nico. So we're gonna go ahead and jump on over into game, and so let's go down and run down the runes and the summoner spells here. And as soon as I see them pop up on my screen, you
Yep. I
guys will
don't see
know.
anything on my screen. There we go.
There we go. Yep. And so we've got double teleports here for both teams. The only real difference in the summoner spells is that we see Jin is using the heal, whereas Ezreal is going to be using the summoner cleanse. Otherwise, we're going to see the grasp of the Undying on Ornn, press the attack for Trundle, that is Arcane Comet for Hui. Press the attack as well on Ezreal, pretty standard there, and Zyra using Arcane Comet as well. Whereas Aatrox going to look to scrap a little bit earlier. He's got the Conqueror. You've also got on the side of NIU Electrocute for the Evelyn, Arcane Comet for Beachillin on the Nico. The Jin going to be using Dark Harvest, so a little bit more of a scaling Jin build here. And then the Guardian there for Bootwear on the Maokai. So very standard across the board, but definitely interesting to take a look at that.
Absolutely. And let's see. It looks like NIU might be going for an invade, or maybe just watching out. But Ohio's definitely spread out. They're kind of playing anti-invade here. We'll see
Yeah,
if anything
Ohio
happens.
using a very standard 5 stack there. NIU, I would actually argue, might be looking more towards a. They might just be looking to counter any invade that might happen here. Placing the vision there on the Raptor pit does allow, or yeah, the Raptor pit does allow NIU to make sure that they're not going to be invaded on the top side, whereas then sitting here protecting everybody else's 4 allows them to ensure that Trundle isn't trying to run towards their blue buff. So it was a nice play. Interesting start though from Broccoli. He does elect to go without the health potion to start, leaving him with that extra 50 gold. So he may be able to get that item just slightly quicker. If he feels like he has enough sustain in his kit, then that's kind of been the standard with this new season. Has been kind of keeping your last 50 gold there as the jungler.
Absolutely.
Overall, pretty standard. Otherwise, looking at it, matching actually everything is matched across the board. The only difference in terms of the starting items is that Trundle, understandably, is going to go for more of a tanky build and is going to have that Moss Stopper. Whereas on the side of the Evelyn, you're looking at the Gust Walker for the jungle Pokemon. There does allow her to have a little bit more move speed when out of combat. So definitely something that you want on that champion. So makes a lot of sense.
We're seeing a little bit of early pressure from Fury up on top. Other than that, we're just kind of poking out, doing things as normal, getting the early game set up.
Yeah, I mean the biggest thing that to note is Jin being forced off this wave has meant that he's sitting at 2 CS now 3, he's about a half wave behind. Once he clears all of this out, um, Wow, this is a really early gank on towards mid. Flash forward does force the flash out of McRoth there. So Broccoli going to go ahead and use his, but does get answered there by the side of Ohio. And so if you're NIU, you do elect to say that's pretty worth because Evelyn doesn't really get a whole lot of value until about level 6, but if she can force summoner spells off of some of these champions, now, this is kind of the payoff of that, is that Ohio knows that Evelyn is going towards that top side, doesn't have flash, or towards the bot side, and so that will mean that there's going to be a collapse here from the side of Ohio, and first blood going over to them. NIU has vision that Ohio's looking to steal the blue buff, but with Hui already rotating over, not going to be able to do really much about that, and so it will just be the first blood and the jungle camp steal here going over towards the side of Ohio.
A little bit of an early lead definitely helps. But I want to see NIU come back from this. I mean, they got a little advantage in the wave now. We're going to see what's going on down bot side. Looks like there might be an engage here.
Yeah, NIU definitely looking to potentially go in on this Trundle. Now, Ezreal's going to be there, and that's going to be a tough spot. Flash has come out, so Styx answering that one, and really just bullying out Broccoli from his own jungle here. NIU does have vision of this, but that's going to be the route coming forward, and Hui's also down here, so NIU going to have to be careful here. Nico is here, so this is a 4v4, but NIU with the health disadvantage to start. Nicely done with the root there from Nico, but not able to grab anything out of it. And NIU just going to have to be very careful. And Broccoli, actually with that Arcane Comet almost falling there to Hui's long-range damage. And McCroth doing a nice job of piloting this this champ early. One of the tougher ones in terms of skill floors and skill ceilings in the game.
Absolutely. And I mean, I'm very happy we just didn't see any kills anymore go to the side of Ohio there. Everyone was able to get out pretty unharmed with the loss of some jungle experience and gold, of course.
Yeah, I mean, with the big thing that's going on here, though, is Broccoli is low and also is sitting on nothing quite yet. He has the Dark Seal, but that's it. Whereas you see the Tunneler on the Trundle, and with the Void Grubs already spawning, NIU really can't contest this one. And it looks like Trundle might just be trying to... Yep, he's just setting up for those. He's not actually even going to start it up. So he's going to look to see if he can't get an invade and maybe a kill here. He is going to spot the Pokemon there from Evelyn, kind of trailing behind, and so he'll know that she was kind of running that direction in the jungle, but will elect to disengage. He's chilling kind of in a rough spot here. He's going to be taken very low, but with the additional health that he's able to get off of the W, is able to get out of that one. So Trundle will go ahead and just start up these Void Grubs. He's going to grab the first one there. And so NIU will elect to just rotate down towards the bot lane, potentially trade this for first Drake. They have Evelyn here, so Ohio's bot lane is going to go ahead and place a ward. They know that this is happening, but it will just be the trade of objectives across the map. So overall, about a 1.1 thousand gold lead going over to Ohio. Actually, just about maybe 1,050 is about the gold lead. NIU now going to have to back away from this one as Ohio's bot lane was able to rotate a little bit quicker on that one. So they'll elect to just back away from the dragon and just continue. June going to be rooted up there. Ignite going to be used as well. Extra loaded in a tough spot, but now the root's going to come through towards GoDad Go-Go. And doesn't look like anything really is going to be much follow-up with that. Extra loaded because he was left alone in the lane for a little bit, does have that level advantage. So he's level 5 compared to the level 4s of Ohio's bot lane. So overall, it gives a little bit of advantage over towards NIU's bot, but not too much to write home about.
Absolutely, and things look fairly even up in the top lane. We actually have one plate on their towers, so things in top lane are kind of going our way.
Yeah, you just don't want to let the Ornn get a level advantage. I mean, that's really the scary part about that champion, is if he's able to get level 13 before you are. Fury is just about keeping it even. I know he's maybe about a quarter level behind here. on this one. So he's going to go ahead and go in. Flash has come out and traded in the mid lane. And that's going to be B-Chillin'. Wow.
Wow,
Just
that
a
was a
huge
great
amount of damage
kill.
from the Q there. Able to get the kill and going to be able to even things up here for the Huskies.
I mean, incredible kill there. I was like, oh, you know, that'll be close, probably get out super low, but able to finish it off. Wow.
Yeah, I mean the blooming burst just doing so much there with that first proc of it that I think Quay got a little surprised by how much damage there was.
Yeah.
Now with Evelyn up towards the top side, you have to imagine that this is going to be Ohio just securing first Drake, and Fury going to be knocked up there, but even trade in the long run. But yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about, where that's the level disadvantage going over towards the side of Delirious here. So Evelyn is posturing up towards the top side, so we'll see if NIU wants to try for maybe a dive here. This is a lot of damage, and that's Call the Forge God is going to land. No mana available, but yeah, there's going to be a flash on top of him. Ornn going to be able to secure that kill. Now flash forward, this is going to be Hwei dropping as well. Broccoli's going to be able to grab that himself. So NIU will keep it even at 1 kill or 2 kills apiece. But looking at the bot lane, this might be the kill going over there. Heal going to come out as well. Maokai going to be kept just barely healthy enough to stay alive. And nicely done by NIU's bot lane. But now they got to be careful of this potential dive. So they are going to lose turret pressure here. But they do end up getting everybody out alive. Now, Curtain Call going to land. That's 2 shots. Now 3 shots have landed, but unfortunately just not enough damage here. Lust going to be able to survive this one. GoDad Go-Go not even going to start his recall. And now he is not sitting in vision, so NIU going to try to go for this one. Yeah, they do elect to back away. The Essence Flux did not land from Ezreal, and so it meant that Broccoli was able to walk away from that one. So another big priority across the board is NIU's got to get that jungle farm going up. Definitely down about 27 CS, as well as if you look at it, about six procs of the jungle item there, the Pokemon. So that's going to be big for Trundle. He's quite far ahead here, but Broccoli is going to elect to try to farm up and be ready for these grubs when they do spawn. Both junglers are sitting towards the bot side, so NIU now going to rotate Maokai up towards the mid lane. You have to imagine they're trying to put priority on this second set of grubs, and I think that's probably the right call as they do elect to go towards it. So yeah, they're going to ping that one out. Now they're going to rotate down Fury as well. It should be 4 versus maybe 2, and NIU should be able to secure these grubs. Although they do look like maybe they're going to try to grab a pick here on towards Lust. Lust going to step into that one, and that's just going to be a whole lot of damage and nobody to follow it up. So NIU will be able to grab that one 4 versus 1. Now the Trundle going to be in a rough spot, but NIU going to look to chase out Hwei here. They do elect to just back away from that, realizing that that would probably put them in a disadvantageous position, especially because everybody from the side of Ohio is there. Flash comes through from Ezreal, not able to grab anything. Call of the Forge God is going to land Breachhill, is going to fall to GoDad Go-Go, and now that's going to be Delirious grabbing Bootwear as well with the Bellows Breath into the E, I forget what that one is called, combo. And so NIU looked like they had the advantage there, but ended up getting things turned around on them. And they will lose that second kill, but they potentially could look for a pick on towards GoDad Go-Go here. Not able to grab anything. That's a lot of damage coming through. It's going to be traded back, though. And not going to be ended up getting the kill is NIU. Now,
And there's the
Curtain Call going to
ultimate.
land. That's going to be 2, 3 shots. And they're just going to stand there hoping that maybe this will work. Lust not going to be able to grab, or not going to be falling with that one. GoDad Go-Go going to get out within a sliver of his death. But 5-3 the kills over towards the side of Ohio. NIU only about 2,000 gold down at this point. So they are slowly bleeding a little bit of gold over towards the side of Ohio, but if there's one solace for them, they do have this Jhin starting to get the farm up a little bit. is down in gold because of the 2 or the 4 kill participation that Ezreal has compared to the 0 for Jhin, but extra loaded, definitely on one of his more comfort champions, so he could continue to scale into this one, especially considering that now he's got the Serrated Dirk and he does have the Rectrix, so he might be able to grab an item here when he does back away.
Exactly, and I mean, we do see the CS difference in the jungle, but we also see the 2 kill difference. I mean, Trundle's already built his first full item. Evelyn's waiting a little bit on that, but I mean, we do see that kill advantage. So come late game, that could definitely fall into our favor.
Yeah, NIU looking for the bait there, so Lust actually going to be taken down to about half HP with that full combo there from Maokai. NIU doing a good job of baiting things in. So I think the goal there just to chunk out the bot lane here from Ohio so that they can NIU can rotate down their bot lane, or their mid lane, sorry, and the jungle, and set up for this potential dragon take. Now, that's going to help a lot by catching out the Trundle here. Styx just found himself face checking into a bush that's got Evelyn and Nico there. And so now Broccoli's going to show up towards the bot lane. He'll get a bunch of damage. That's going to be traded back, though. Broccoli is going to fall. No, he won't, actually. NIU doing a nice job. GoDad Gogo also going to grab, or going to fall, but he will grab the kill back towards Bootware here. So this is now a 2-0-0 Jhin. There goes the bounty on towards him, and NIU doing a nice job of evening out these kills long run. That's a lot of damage coming through from McCroth, but Bootware, or sorry, Be Chillin', oh no, just misjudging his auto attack by that much, and that's going to mean that McCroth is going to live within an inch of his life, but with the a little bit of an overcommit from Be Chillin', not able to grab the damage that was needed. So flashes come through in the top lane. Both sides are end up using theirs. NIU, in the meantime, did grab that dragon, so they now have a Hextech Drake of their own, or a Hextech Drake to counter out, I should say, the Cloud Drake here from the side of Ohio. Looking at it, Styx is going to start up this Rift Herald. Does not look like NIU will even elect to contest, and it's going to be the Chemtech Drake here for the side, or as the soul here. Now, looking at it, NIU did look like Fury looked like he might want to contest that Herald.
With the
Instead,
TP out from
teleport
Ornn.
expelled by Delirious, and so NIU not going to elect to go for this one. So overall, about 1,000 gold advantage over towards the side of it. Ohio, NIU, keeping it close. They have an opportunity back into this one. Where do you really think the big opportunity to turn this thing around is, Austie?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say we're starting to get our Evelyn online here. I mean, that's 5 kill participation out of the 6 kills that NIU has. I mean, she's definitely getting active here, and we're seeing it right now in this Ezreal and mid. I mean, Evelyn is really coming online right now. That should be a lot of gold in the pocket to help out. I think that's where we're going to see the big plays here come out in the jungle.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree, especially with that. Oh, that's
we'll
going to
see
be the
another,
charm. Oh, no,
perhaps.
actually, doesn't even wait for that. He just goes on in and uses his ultimate, and that's going to be the kill going over towards Evelyn. Now sitting on 7 stacks of the Dark Seal, so you're absolutely right about this Evelyn coming online.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to see this bounty go away on this Ornn, but I know Fury's keeping up, and he's keeping up great. But one kill on that Ornn would be so nice.
Yeah, absolutely, especially considering he's sitting at level 12 here, about halfway towards 13, so he's very close to being able to upgrade his own item there. Bella's Breath gonna mean that he's not gonna get knocked up there, so Fury will just walk away from it. And this is kind of the tough part about this matchup. I mean, if you're not able to get the early kills, Ornn does get to a point where he's pretty difficult to burst down, so NIU, though, has some of that damage with the Jhin that might be able to whittle him down long term, so we'll have to see how this one goes in the fights.
Absolutely. It's pretty even around CS, as bounty's going up a little bit, but yeah, just seeing that level difference is going to come out here very shortly. Things are
now, it's interesting to see. Yeah,
a little slow paced right now.
It's definitely interesting to see to me that we're seeing the Yomu's Ghost Blade on the Jin. I mean, not that that's an odd build or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but it just shows that power of lethality here with this
Mm-hmm.
comp. And then Lichbane going to be finished off here by the Evelyn. Also, Broccoli going ahead and upgrading his Dark Seal into the Morellonomicon. And so it is going to be, or the Magi's Soul Stealer, my apologies. And so with that, it does look like he's going to have quite a bit of burst damage. So we'll have to see how. Ooh, just missing the stun there.
Looks like we're moving up towards top. Speaking of Evelyn,
Yeah,
let's see
I
this kill on
mean,
the Ornn. Let's see him finished right here.
does have the ult available. Now that's a really nice job with the pullback there.
Wow.
Delirious gonna be surviving quite a bit of damage though. That's gonna be the call of the Forge God. Now the Q isn't landed. Lots of damage now. Shutdown goes over towards Broccoli with the really nice use of the ultimate. You would have hoped that they were able to burst him down just a little bit quicker than that, so
Mm-hmm.
that they might have been able to turn things around on towards that group of 3 from the side of Ohio that did show up. But
Mm-hmm.
in the end, they do get one. They get the gold lead, and they'll be able to set up for this first chem check Drake that should be spawning here in just about, let's see. You guys have it on the screen there. I forgot to pull up my objective timers.
Actually, I don't
But,
think I have it on the screen. I forgot
oh,
how to pull it up.
no worries. We got in just about 15 seconds here, but it's let me see. I don't remember what the
I don't
keybind
either.
is
I
for
looked.
it
I
either.
looked for it and I couldn't find it.
Always fun. But if you go to the I in the bottom left and then you hit objective timers, that'll give you it as well.
There we go.
So Dragon has spawned. NIU going to go in on this one now. That's going to be a lot of damage coming through from the Zyra, and it is going to mean B-Chill does fall. Where gonna have to use, or gonna have to grab the summoner heal, taken very low himself, but now gonna go ahead and use that, use the plant here. But look at all the damage that's already on these members of Ohio. NIU having Broccoli kind of around the outside. They don't really know that he's there, despite being on a ward. Now NIU going to go ahead and engage, and there's a lot of damage, but it's going to be followed up. Broccoli's going to be able to grab one with the ultimate. Now it's going to be a second, and that'll be a double kill over towards Broccoli. Extra loaded. Bootware does fall, but extra loaded is going to grab one of his own on towards the Ezreal. Fury is still up, and NIU elects to go towards this dragon because B Chillin's going to be able to be there and follow it up. It'll be a 4-for-1, well, extended 4-for-2 in favor of the Huskies. And the biggest thing to note, look at that, Jin at 3-0-2, and Evelyn from Broccoli sitting at 7-2-4 with 21 stacks on the Magi's. That's NIU's in a good spot.
Absolutely.
Needless to say.
Picking up that dragon too. I mean, we're starting to roll into, getting further along in this mid game, and we're definitely seeing everyone come online now.
Now what I expect is for Fury to just continue to push towards the bot lane, continue to put pressure on that side lane while NIU groups as 4, or actually groups as 3, with Evelyn kind of roaming around looking for picks. McCroth stepping a little too far forward, and
That's probably going to be a
here.
pick.
Flash is going to be traded away,
Ooh.
but is NIU able to grab this? Yeah, going to have to flash Broccoli because of the additional damage that's going to come down from play, but it doesn't matter. He does survive and is able to move to 8-2-4 and move towards max stacks of that Magi's.
Incredible, incredible. Looks like we're moving towards perhaps a Rabadon's here. I mean, that could be incredible. Late game just to come online.
Yeah, with that third, especially with the NLR for the third item there, does mean that more than likely you're absolutely right that he's going towards that death cap. Sticks, just, there's the power of that Jin. I mean, starting to come online, only 2 items, including Collector. I mean, that full combo of the ultimate does take Sticks down to half HP. Oh, just barely missing the stun there. Broccoli still sitting in this one, now going to be taken very low, and there he is. Sticks going to fall, although B-Chillin does step a little too far forward. Going to get the damage on towards B-Chill, or on towards Lust here, but does fall in the end, stepping a little too far forward, taking a little too much damage. But NIU will say, you know what? we're just going to go ahead and start up this dragon, or sorry, not dragon, the Baron. And Broccoli, despite being very low with Bootware there to tank it up, should be able to grab this one, especially taking it slow enough that they may be able to get this on towards Nico as well. Now, the ultimate there does mean that NIU will likely have to back away from this one. The Ezreal doing a nice job, but that means Delirious finds himself in a rough spot. Charm does come through, but that's going to be called. The Forge God doesn't land on anybody. Neither part of it does. So now it is a 4v3 up in the top lane. No ultimate available for the Ornn. NIU going to go ahead, and they do have ultimate advantage here. Actually, I apologize. No, they don't. They have just the World Ender here for the Aatrox. And that's going to mean their dragon is going to fall. They will lose the turret for it, and they do end up getting the recall to finish off here from Bootware, but Evelyn sitting in the side lane, but that's not actually Evelyn, that is the Nico. Going to be doing a lot of damage, and over the wall, does get the flash. That's going to be Broccoli following it up, the real Evelyn. NIU does lose one in the process, but it is a 1-for-1 long fight. NIU does have Broccoli, not able to land the stun, but that is just a big chunk of damage on towards Ezreal. Broccoli going to be in a rough spot. It's going to be shut down here by Ornn, and this could very well spell the Baron start for the side of Ohio. They do elect to just recall, considering that Hui and Trundle are taken very low. But NIU gonna have to recall themselves, taking a little bit more than they can chew, and does mean that the advantage in that fight goes over towards the side of Ohio.
Yeah, and I mean, we're still in lead kill-wise, but the gold difference definitely has evened out. But we do have dragon advantage, and another dragon coming online in about 50 seconds here. We'll see. This might be a big fight for it. We'll see maybe one team go dragon, one go baron, or we'll see a fight at one, and the one team will take both.
Yeah, I'd have to imagine that Baron's going to be a little bit... Well, no, they're posturing towards dragon being the priority, which you might not expect considering that it is not soul point here. I mean, it is getting onto 3, so you really do want to avoid your opponent getting to 3, but it's not as imperative as not giving up the soul. So McCroth just barely stepping away from that one, almost stunned up there by the Jhin. But NIU does have Fury up towards the top side, so I have to agree with you there, though. You pointed out that maybe they'd look to trade up. Does look like actually both teams kind of posturing towards a potential fight here. Now McCroth just, oh my goodness, that's 3-shot. Now the teleport going to be used here by Fury. Curtain Call does come through, and with Broccoli sitting on a side lane, Fury going to be taken low, does get the stun on towards the back line. That's going to be 2. Now one goes over to Nico. NIU just routing this fight. They're going to be able to grab a 4th and a 5th. Nope. Delirious just going to go ahead and walk away from this one. Now the damage does come through. No, he's going to be able to actually walk away. Crazy. Wow. So a 4-for-1, and that just shows you the power of that Ornn, especially with that Jack Show that has now been... Oh, that's an interesting name for the upgraded Jack Show. The Unspoken Parasite. Now that's
pretty
something.
Cool.
Riot, you have outdone yourselves once again with the naming conventions.
All right.
No, so just usually, and the reason I say that, this is an aside. Wow, Beach Hill taken very low. He's gonna just barely survive that, so it will mean the ultimate was expelled there from McCroth, but the reason I say that too is because most of the Ornn items are pretty similar in name to what their non-upgraded item is. So like Trinity Force becomes Infinity Force, Leandri's Torment becomes Leandri's Lament. But yeah, that's an interesting one, the Unspoken Parasite. Stick's going to be taken very low, and that is dirty. The amount of damage that comes out of that Evelyn from Broccoli, sitting at 13-3, sitting at full stacks of the Darksteel, and you were absolutely right. The Rabadon's now finished up for him. He can really just one-shot anybody, so NIU will take that now that Trundle is dead. NIU will just walk on up towards this Baron and look at all the vision that is available for the side of NIU. Very, very little on the side of Akron. They don't even know this is happening, and so NIU will just sneak this Baron and able to grab that. Yeah, now the pings come out after the Baron has already fallen. So NIU will go ahead and grab that and move on towards the mid lane to continue to push down and push forward their objective here. About a 5,000 gold lead for the Huskies, so that's exactly where you want to be as Northern. So now I have to say, I don't even think that Ezreal or Hui have any items that can be upgraded by the Ornn. So that's I'm gonna go off on a tangent here,
Mm-hmm.
and Ost, you stick with me here.
All right.
But I'm gonna go off on a tangent and say, as somebody that when I do play top lane, I do like some Ornn.
Mm-hmm.
Pet peeve of mine: if you're gonna play with an Ornn, don't wait until after he's already gotten to the level to get an item that he can upgrade. I mean, he's sitting at 15 and now just gonna be stunned up, not really able to grab much on towards be chilling. But oh wow,
Ooh.
Bootware, I wasn't quite seeing that one, but taken very low. And wow, a lot of damage that followed up though by NIU. Be chillin', also going to get a lot of damage here on the back line, followed up by Jin, and it is a 3-for-3. Neither side at a true advantage quite yet. Fury going to be taken quite low, and we'll see if NIU is able to grab anything. Heal comes out. That's going to be the stun does miss, and so now NIU will have to see if they can grab the damage on towards this Trundle. He is still there. They're going to go ahead. Oh no, they lost vision of him. No! Anyway. It is a 3-for-3, and NIU keeps the advantage. Going back to what I was saying, you really want to get the Ornn upgradable items by the time Ornn can get to that level. I mean, he is 15, so he has upgraded everything he can, but you're really banking on being able to finish something in the next, like, minute and a half before he finishes level 16. So that's kind of going on as a side. We've got a game to get back to, and yeah, so Austin, what is happening at this point?
I'm just seeing a lot of pressure coming out from this Evelyn. I mean, Ezreal specifically, and kind of Hui too. You really just have to watch your step. I mean, any wrong turn and you're out of the fight for like a minute at this point. You know, that timer's getting up there. So really have to watch your step. I mean, we're just seeing immense pressure come out on all sides here, specifically from the jungle, but the ability to collapse with the rest of the team. I mean, they're putting themselves in the right spot at the right time to make these plays, and I think that falls on everybody to know what the proper play is, and it just shows how good the communication is right now between NIU.
Yeah, I have to agree, and I think the one other thing that I would add to that is Hui step is Ohio had really been sticking together and moving as a 5-man unit to protect against any of these Evelyn bursts, and then as soon as I was about to say that, we saw McCroth get a little bit greedy, step a little too far forward, and he then got found out by the Evelyn here. Bootware going to be taken very low, but with the damage, Broccoli's going to be able to grab 2 of his own, and now a 3rd in the extended triple, and NIU will go ahead and grab the soul here, and they don't even need everybody for this. It'll be Broccoli going on towards the soul, while the rest of the team goes ahead and just tries to grab this mid lane inhibitor turret.
See a big dive here on Ornn.
Yeah, lots of damage on towards extra loaded, and that's actually going to be the shutdown going through. Be chillin', dives a little far forward, and now Delirious. Oh, nice flash from Be chillin', able to step away from that one. Bootware is going to be here, just needing to continue to dodge. And
wow,
that's where his
dodge.
volleyball, or not volleyball, that's where his dodgeball skills really came in handy there. I mean,
yeah,
if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball, and he dodged pretty much every skill shot there was available there. So, really quick feat there by Beachillin.
Yeah. We're going to see this Evelyn stick around for a little bit. I want to see if there's going to be, like we said, oh, just a back. I was going to say, I want to see somebody overstep this jungle. Think they're a little too safe, but, I mean, the vision. I mean, especially on this bot side. NIU's got a bunch of wards in the right spots to just know that this jungle is kind of theirs as well, limiting Trundle to this top side.
Yeah, I mean, looking at vision, NIU actually, because of that control ward that's sitting in the tri-brush there
Mm-hmm.
there's actually not a lot of vision from NIU, surprisingly. They see the Raptor pit, but that's about it on the bot side of the map. Luckily, they have good vision on the top side here, so they are going to know that they can kind of posture towards this Baron. They'll send Nico down to just continue to split push here on the bot side. Going to have to be answered, although because of the worry about potentially having Hwei caught out by this Evelyn, it's going to mean everybody from the side of Ohio, except for Ornn, is going to move towards this bot lane. And NIU going to get a nice advantage in towards the mid lane here because of that. So I'm not sure that they know Evelyn is down here yet. So just kind of walking around here, seeing if they can't grab something. It will continue to be that top lane, just back and forth, one after the other. Yeah, now level 17, going back to my earlier rant. Level 17 for Ornn, and look at Hwei, look at Ezreal. No items that they can have upgraded, so
Mm-hmm.
just wasting some of that advantage that you get. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
NIU going to start to go towards this Baron. They have the advantage. They have the ability to do it, and they have the Evelyn with enough move speed to be able to rotate up towards that and potentially look for an engage if the side of Ohio goes in towards this and overcommits.
Gonna see a pull away from Baron. Interesting call there.
Yeah, I think they're just seeing that they have the advantage in the 1-3-1, and so they're going to elect to do that. Especially now that the Ezreal is. Oh, that's flash used by McCroth. The fleeing. Oh, the fear goes down towards Beach Hill, and Beach Hill is going to fall, but NIU says, you know what? That's fine. It's the sacrificial lamb. We'll go ahead and just grab this Baron. They'll have the advantage. They kill the inhibitor turret. They don't end up getting the inhibitor itself down towards the bot lane, but NIU just able to grab that and really just escape. No opportunity to contest here from the side of Ohio.
Absolutely. And I mean, in just 2 minutes and 45 seconds, we're gonna see this Elder Drake come online, and I wonder this could be the game ender here.
Yeah, it is an interesting timing for that, considering that that's about the exact time when Baron should expire.
Wow.
Excuse me.
Wow.
Uh, Freak in the balance team. I have some words for you. Anyway,
Yes.
that was a really nice play there, though, by Broccoli. Just able to use two abilities. And so, I have to say that that was some of the best. Jeez Louise.
Wow.
I mean, this is some of the highest skill ceiling play I've seen. I mean, he walks up, he hits two buttons, and that's half of a tank's health bar.
Incredible. We're seeing Fury dive deep here.
Yeah, it dives a little too far. All of NIU dives a little too far. That's Bootware, going to be taken very low. He'll just try to grab some damage on towards the inhibitor. They will grab the inhibitor in the mid lane, but not able to grab the one in the bot lane. Now, they might elect to just go back in on this and GoDad Go-Go. Yep. Hello and goodbye to GoDad Go-Go. Now, Broccoli is going to fall. McCroth does a nice job of landing the ultimate there, so not able to really grab anything. Sticks. There's going to be some damage and a lot of stuns going back. So I think to your point, NIU was kind of having a split call there. I think they might have been looking to say, you know what, we just need to reset and look for the Elder. And then half the team was saying, you know what, we can actually end. And I think that split call really cost them there. They ended up overcommitting quite a bit. And luckily, the timing on the death timers isn't too terrible. You'll still have Evelyn available by the time that not Infernal, the Elder Drake does spawn. And so overall, could have been a worse punish on the side of Ohio, but NIU lucky to not lose too much out of that one. They do lose quite a bit of stacks on the Evelyn, losing or going down to 15 stacks from the 25. That's a pretty big blow, but if Broccoli is able to grab anything off of this, then that can easily be overcome and really reset by that point. So we'll have to
definitely
see.
Positioning for Drake here. Pretty obvious.
Yeah. I mean, look at that was a full full root and blossom on Delirious, and he wasn't able to grab anything. Now NIU is going to use the tangled roots here to go on forward. Lots of damage. Oh no, that was a little bit unfortunate. Lust is going to be able to use the Zonias on the ultimate there from Broccoli. Now Broccoli doing a lot of damage to Sticks. Nicely done. Saving his jungler is extra loaded, and that'll be a triple kill over to him. That is now Evelyn going to grab the fourth, or the fifth, I should say, and Ornn did go ahead and kill off a couple on the side here, but 3 members of NIU strong. They're going to go ahead and push towards the end here, and with the death timers where they are, NIU will grab game number 1 in this series and push it to 1-0 for the Huskies.
I mean, incredible showing, incredible last fight with keeping Broccoli alive there and just knowing when to engage and when to use your abilities there. I mean, great communication from NIU to pull out this victory here.
Yeah, I mean, I want to give a shout out to everybody there, but especially looking at Broccoli with a really monster performance, doing a lot of damage, grabbing a lot of kills, but extra loaded slowly and surely having a 17 KDA game, 7, 1,
Wow.
and 10 on that Jin, doing a really nice job of keeping himself alive and
Mhm.
still getting quite a bit done in these fights. So we should be jumping into game number 2 very shortly. But until then, we will be right back for game number 2 with NIU leading 1-0.
Keep it here. All right. Welcome back, everybody. We will be hopping into game 2 very shortly.
Yep, and looks like NIU has, or sorry, NIU does not get side selection this time. Ohio has elected to go towards the blue side once again, so nothing much going to change on that one. Looking across the board, it is going to be pretty even ranks here for these two teams. Lust kind of being the one that's a little bit lower in terms of he's Emerald, or sorry, he's Gold 3 right now. Um, Delirious sitting at Emerald 1 compared to, oh, I see. We're a little bit out of order, so I think they're going to change order, and then we should be able to get into game here. But um, top lane is Emerald versus Emerald. It's Emerald 4 for Fury, Emerald 1 for Delirious. So congrats over to Fury getting back into Emerald. I know he's been bouncing a little bit back and forth between Emerald and Plat, going back and forth a little bit there. Broccoli, Diamond 4 compared to the Emerald 3 of Styx. McRoth is Master compared to Beach Hilton's Diamond 3, although he has not played much rank this season. Typically sits at about a Master's rank himself. GoDad GoGo sitting at Emerald 1 compared to Extra Loaded's Emerald 2. And then Lust sitting at Gold 3 compared to Boozware's Diamond 2. So, not Platinum.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Fury sits at Diamond usually.
Yes.
That's my bad.
Yeah, a lot of good ranks coming out. Personally, myself, I'm Bronze. Not too much of a League player, but I do enjoy watching it and, of course, casting it.
That's okay. You know, I for a long time sat in bronze, and then I sat in silver for a while, and I finally have gotten myself consistently up to gold in the last couple seasons. So,
Nice.
you know, but despite that, when I got to gold, it kind of became that gold is the new silver, and plat's the new gold. So
Yep.
I'm like, oh no, new goal to achieve. So there we go. But
Yeah.
definitely helps being a one trick for me in this case. I definitely like myself some Belveth play. So looks like the side of Ohio is ready. So we should be jumping into Champ Select extremely shortly. Any changes that you want to see the draft, Austie, to see Ohio be keeping it a little closer, or to NIU to really just take it to them from the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too familiar with what Ohio picks, but I definitely could see some bans coming out, particularly on Evelyn. I mean, late game definitely snowballed into some very, very strong Evelyn gameplay. I mean, able to one shot, two shot, just about all of the squishies on the map. I mean, that might be worthy of a ban instead of, I think it was NIU ban Jarvan, Ohio ban Xin Zhao, so maybe we'll see that ban go towards Evelyn. But all in all, I'm not too sure, like I said, what they're familiar with, so it could just be, pulling something else out of their back pocket, maybe adopting to go a different top laner I mean, Fury was really strong there by the end, keeping up with Orange, so maybe they want to try a different angle to maybe secure this top lane, put a little more pressure there. I mean, it really could go any which way at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're seeing that. I think you're absolutely right with some of those changes that hit the nail on the head. But it does look like both teams are ready, and we are jumping into Champ Select here for game number 2. So, looking at it, we'll see if any of those changes end up getting implemented that you were talking about. We see that Ohio on the board for this first ban. You have to imagine it's going to be the Rumble. Oh no, it's the Evelyn.
I mean,
so
yeah,
you're
they really did
absolutely
have
right.
enough.
They were worried about that one. So.
Yeah,
I do
definitely had
wonder,
enough
though,
of
if the
that.
Rumble does come out here as a ban. I'd have to imagine it probably does. Olaf once again gets answered here.
Maybe he'll get his chance to play Rumble. We might see it.
Also taken off the board. I mean, yeah, it would be interesting. I wonder if they're setting up to maybe first pick it here if they leave it up. It would be a interesting choice. It is one of the stronger top laners in the game right now, so, but obviously it's going to stay available. So NIU, I mean, if Delirious doesn't pick this up with the first pick for Ohio, you have to imagine that we're going to see Beach Hill and grab that Rumble, and it's a fun one to watch. We'll have to see how it goes if it does get that direction. I'm holding my hopes in until it happens. And NIU, yeah, deciding that it was too much of a risk that the side of Ohio was going to pick that rumble, and they're going to ban it away themselves. So Ohio doing a nice job of forcing NIU's hand here in the draft, but Lilia going to be taken off the board for them. No surprises there. 3 junglers taken out of the pool that Broccoli would have picked from, and so Ohio will go right back towards that Ezreal for the side of GoDad GoGo.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a strong Ezreal showing, just a very squishy into that Evelynn. So you take Evelynn out of the way. I mean, obviously there are many other champions in the game who can 1 to 2 shot you, but definitely puts a little more survivability back in Ezreal's hand with, his little micro flash, I like to call it, his E ability, kind of having that little flash. Definitely gives him a
Yeah,
little more survivability when Evelynn isn't lurking around every corner waiting to jump out of the bush.
and there's a lot of engage that's going to come through for NIU. The Nautilus is going to be the first pick here, so definitely has the dredge line available, has the opportunity to really go in. I do wonder if they think that would be stronger into the Ezreal Maokai than just taking the Maokai themselves. So we'll see if that's the direction they like to head towards. Jin once going to be picked up here for uh, extra loaded, so he'll end up getting that one back. But yeah, we'll see where the side of Ohio elects to go with this. Obviously, top ADCs matching right now, so you'd imagine that the side of Ohio will go for their support here, and Renata Glass gonna be the one that they choose.
Well, this isn't someone I see too often, especially in my game, so I'm not too familiar with this. So interesting to see what Ohio's going to pull out here.
I think that they were kind of thinking that with the bailout, they can kind of push through some of those fights that were pretty close in the last game. So maybe that's kind of the idea that they're going for, trying to put a bailout down. And Udi are going to be picked up here from the side of Ohio. Obviously, NIU banning that in the second rotation of bans last game. So Ohio electing to pick that one up before the second set of bans comes through. So obviously that can be flexed towards the top lane, can be the or the jungle, sorry. And so I'm a little curious to see if that's the direction that NIU chooses to pick here. No, they'll just go towards super high priority, and they will pick up the Aurelion Soul. So different type of mid laner, not nearly as engage heavy, but definitely going to be able to roam the map and look for advantages here for the side of Be Chillin'. And a champ that is in a very strong spot right now. So have to imagine that there will be some priority on towards the mid lane here for the Huskies.
Didn't
With
want to
that,
see
Ornn going to
Ornn
be
in
taken off
top
the table.
lane.
Yeah, I mean, no need to, especially if you go towards something like an Aatrox, you want to take that off the board again so that you're not having to play that matchup. Fury grabbing or getting the respect ban of his Darius. He's been playing that quite a bit in the last few days. Been talking with him a little bit about the top lane champ pool, and obviously Darius sitting in a good spot right now and really feeling like the most impactful top laner here for the side of NIU's top laner Fury. Cassante going to be banned away as well, so lots of priority put towards these top lane bans, and really taking away comfort as the Gwen also going to be banned away here. So Fury going to have a little bit more of a limited champ pool, though he plays so many different champs. You have to imagine that it won't impact him too heavily. But I would guess that that's going to be. Well, actually,
Oh, wait.
is that an Echo Jungle? I'd have to guess.
Yeah, it very, very well could be.
It really depends on. I guess Echo. You know what? I actually really like this because it really prevents Ohio from picking a counter pick here in the top or the jungle, because they don't really know which one Echo is going to go towards, and so then they have to kind of pick it straight and kind of reveal where they want this Udyr. So now that NIU knows that the Udyr is going to go towards the top lane, they can pick accordingly and try to find a counter pick for themselves. So really nice job of draft adjustment and kind of forcing the hand of Ohio here. And so with that, NIU is going to elect to go towards a little bit of a safer pick, the Renekton. Very easy to gank for, especially with that Echo, who's going to have the ability to kind of put down his magnetic field, or I forget the exact name of the ability, but his stun field, and then dive on into it. So
Hmm.
especially if you're able to get the slice and dice, and then just kind of keep the enemy in place. So an interesting draft for sure. Uh, the side of NIU has, I mean, there's the Nautilus. The Renekton's going to be pretty tanky. Echo can get tanky depending on his build. But if you look at the side of Ohio, they're kind of banking on getting some early kills here. That
Hmm.
Vi could get bruisery, but not really going to be a tank. Renata also very much an enchanter. Udyr will get tanky, so don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
It's not like they miss tanks at all, but definitely a little bit of a different look from the side of Ohio.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a little more into that squishy side, probably because they have the Evelyn band away. Maybe they're feeling a little more comfortable about playing some squishier champions.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, LeBlanc is going to be an interesting one. I've seen now. Okay, never mind. I was going to say, do we see something weird like an AD LeBlanc that came back into fruition with the 14.1 patch?
Hmm.
I'd guess probably not, considering that the only magic damage on the team. Actually,
Hmm.
Udyr is going to do some magic damage with Phoenix form. Ezreal will do some mixed damage, but more towards the AD side. Renata, kind of a mixed bag, but going to be more of a healer. I won't rule out the AD build for LeBlanc, but I would find it really weird if he went that direction. But I guess I won't rule it out 100% here.
Hmm.
Chat, feel free to throw in the chat what you guys feel. Is he going to go true traditional LeBlanc, or maybe are we going to see some sort of odd hybrid type of build? I'm genuinely curious at this one. And I use comp a little more straightforward. I mean, you've got Renekton. Echo is going to be the tank AP bruiser. Aurelion Soul going to be a control mage. Jin, long range ADC. Nautilus for the engage. Renekton for the dive as well. So, I mean, that's pretty standard on the side of NIU's comp.
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching these Echo plays. I mean, I'm always one to love Echo just going around doing his thing. I mean, all of his abilities are just so unique, and I love watching him play. I mean, I hate when he destroys me in game, but it really is something to watch.
It really is. And you know what? I gotta give a shout out over towards the chat. We're getting a little bit up towards 20 people watching, so continue to share it out. And I believe we're getting towards the end of the Husky Gaming NECC matches, so I hope all those matches went well, and congratulations to you guys if you guys were able to pull out the wins, and if you're in the chat. So, but yeah, we've got the ESC game going on here. We'll continue to see as we go. Just about to jump into game, but yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of cool things going on with this one. Should be a fun matchup when we get into it.
Absolutely. And something I'd like to bring note to that I saw, last game, we saw an early start, especially with Trundle taking both sets of grubs. And personally, I would lean a little more towards a dragon being a little more impactful for the game. I mean, we didn't see much usage out of the grubs, and then we did see dragons start to turn towards NIU's favor. So I wonder if they're going to keep that grub priority. I know that helps a little bit with the towers, but we're going to see, if they might kind of lean towards doing dragons and getting a little more progress there.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting dilemma that you face as a jungler in this season, just because you're absolutely right that the dragons are probably higher priority, but it's it's not really worth, if your bot lane doesn't have priority, it's not really worth trying to contest them. And so
Hmm.
then you see the grubs kind of become the de facto early fight
Hmm.
objective. And so it's kind of an interesting one. I am really curious to see. It's not like either of these junglers are super high grub priority junglers, and so you're absolutely right. I do think we're probably going to see more of a Drake focus on the side of, well, not on the side of anything, but during this one. Looking at it, not really anything special for Udyr, but we do see that there's not going to be a flash on the top laner here for the side of Ohio. It's going to be Ghost and Teleport, as well as the Grasp of the Undying for the Udyr. And NIU going to actually, we'll hold that thought because they're going to go ahead and 5-stack in towards this, in towards the Ohio top side. They do go ahead and grab the, take out the ward here. Does mean that they get that early gold advantage and the early vision score, but doesn't end up meaning a whole lot in the grand scope of things, uh, considering that it doesn't lead to any kills or anything of that nature. So we'll go ahead and go back towards it. Vi going to be starting off with very standard flash as well as the conquer, electrocute, and the ignite for the side of the LeBlanc, as well as on the Ezreal. We're seeing the heal and the press the attack and Guardian and so I apologize. That was Aftershock on Maokai last game, but anyway, Guardian and Exhaust for the Renata Glask on the side of NIU. Teleport and Flash for Fury, as well as the Conqueror. Dark Harvest, as well as the Flash on the Echo. They'll start on the blue side here, but Arcane Comet, Teleport, Dark Harvest as well for extra loaded on this Jhin, and then Glacial Augment on the Nautilus. So definitely going to be a lot of slows in that bot lane. Looking at it here, neither side really getting too much of an advantage. Obviously, just a little bit of poke going back and forth. Fury doing a nice job of clearing out every minion in that first wave, and he'll actually get level 2 first, and so he's going to be able to push Delirious off this wave. It will be kind of traded right back, but now you're going to grab the early advantage up in that top lane. And now in the bot lane, this is a little bit unfortunate as Bootwear taken pretty low, but does have the early level 2 advantage going over towards the side of Ohio in that lane, similar to what we saw in the last game, where it's just a little more difficult to farm into that Ezreal as the Jhin, so makes it a little bit fun there for the side of Ohio. Both junglers kind of sitting towards the mid lane. This is a lot of damage. Could be flash forced out. Beat Chillin is going to go ahead and flash, but is the Ignite going to land? No, the last tick of Ignite is going to be healed away. And so NIU going to be able to get their mid laner out of there with just a sliver of health, and a lot used by the side of Ohio to try to get that. So now NIU will be able to elect to teleport back in, be chillin', and they do have the possibility of stealing something here in the jungle for the side of Ohio. A lot of damage coming through, but is NIU going to be able to contest this? The smite is used over by Broccoli. The dive does not get much, but NIU going to be able to get one back here. Let's see, McCroth is taken very low, and now NIU Fury kind of chasing out the clone, flashes away. Broccoli also taken very low. He's going to be killed off, and that's going to be first blood over towards the side of Ohio, and this could be 2. It is. Beachillin's going to die as well. Fury now not in a very good spot, and he's also going to fall. And he'll get one traded back, though, so it will be a 3-for-1, though, in favor of Ohio, and a 1.3 thousand gold lead over to the Bobcats, and that's not really how you want to start the game if you're the Huskies.
Yeah, I mean, we saw an early game lead last game and then a pretty dominant late game from NIU. So, I mean, not what you like to see, but definitely not out of the running. I mean, we saw a great early game comeback from NIU last game. So, I'm excited to see that again.
Yeah, and Fury just deciding, you know what? They're not scared of this Udyr. They're going to go ahead and go back in. Fury now going to try to grab this. He may get traded back, and yeah, it's going to be the first kill going over towards Udyr, but then Broccoli able to turn that around. So Bootwear could also be taken low. That's going to be the damage coming through. Nicely done to just judge where the flash was going to go and use the dredge line to really follow it up. Nicely done by Bootwear, able to get the first kill in the bot lane for the side of NIU, and it does go to extra loaded, so a really nice advantage over to NIU's ADC. Looking at it, it's about a 300 gold advantage, 350, which makes sense judging as it is that one kill over towards the side of NIU's ADC. Does mean that he's able to finish the Serrated Dirk, where Ezreal, when he recalled, was only able to grab the glowing moat, so Now, this is a lot of damage coming through from McCroth. NIU not really going to have to play a little safe here in the mid lane. And Vi ending up grabbing the first of the grubs. And I think you were absolutely right about where that priority was going to fall. Vi able to grab all those, and NIU not even putting vision down towards those grubs.
Hopefully we can see a quick dragon come out to contest the take of the grubs. I mean, the grubs aren't everything, but grubs and dragon, that would be a little tough for NIU.
Exactly, and I mean, looking at it, NIU just now getting noticed that that Ohio had been doing grubs, seeing as the third one was finished off. It did give the notification that they had been killed. So NIU knows that this has happened. This is going to be a lot of damage onto on towards Beach Hill and from McCroth, and without the flash, the ignite is going to be used though. And so it will be NIU losing their mid laner, but now we see Broccoli, he's going to go on towards the bot lane, and yeah, the bailout's not going to do a whole lot when you're the only one there, so nicely done by NIU, able to kill off the Renata Glass here, and they'll go ahead and rotate the support here, Bootware, up towards the Dragon, make sure that Ohio's not starting that up. And so it'll be a fight towards the top lane as we just keep seeing constant action. And now Fury goes back in. He is just going to get a nice little chunk of damage and then walk away. So really nicely done by the top laner here of NIU.
We see Ohio starting to ping dragon, wondering if NIU is starting it. Not a lot of vision. Actually, excuse me, a fair bit of vision in the river with Scuttle being down. So trying to see if maybe somebody's in pit. They don't have pit warded, so a little bit weary.
Yeah, looking at it, NIU really has no vision of the bot side, which is a little tough to fight through. Whereas if you look at Ohio, their only ward on the map is that is the Scuttle Crab in the bot lane. So it's a little bit tough for Ohio to go for this one. NIU does select to just start it up. They do have Broccoli on this dragon. Vi not really going to be able to grab anything. The stun does come through, and Beach only going to be taken to about 3/4 or 1/3 HP, I should say. And does mean that he'll be able to trade this back. Now, there is vision, so nicely done to just secure that by NIU. It will be the Hextech going over towards them. And it'll be a Cloud Drake to spawn in about 5 minutes.
Starting to see some aggression up in this mid lane here from Echo Nautilus, but I mean, big showing top here. Let's see if anything comes out of it.
Yeah, Fury able to use the Slice and Dice forward, and that's going to be a lot of shielding coming through from Delirious. Now, I'm not sure that Fury wants to continue to fight this. He is just going to take a lot of damage with that. Actually, there's no damage items really on the Udyr, so a little bit surprising how much damage that Phoenix form is doing, but Fury going to be able to survive through it despite being down the kills. Now he's able to use the Slice and Dice as well as the stun and then dash away. Nicely done to make sure that he was not going to be followed up on by Delirious. Vi is here, but use the E there to clear the ward, so that did mean that NIU grabbed vision here. Echo going to rotate up top as well, and so we'll see if NIU is able to take a fight here on towards the jungle here of Ohio. Sticks with the Udyr, they had vision that he rotated down. Nicely done to dodge that by Broccoli. Lots of damage, but NIU needs to be careful here. Broccoli, wow, going to be forced to use his ultimate. Flashes away. That's going to be the ultimate used by Vi as well. And NIU just stepping a little too far forward was Broccoli. Kill goes over towards the side of Ohio, and they find themselves up about 1,000 gold and 2 kills at about 9.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a tough start, but it was a tough start last game, and I mean, we saw who came out on top, so definitely not out of the running yet.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is not something that, it's definitely not a an unwinnable position here for the Huskies at all, especially because they are going to rotate Broccoli up towards these grubs, and with the positioning of Ohio, I think NIU will at least grab 1, maybe 2 grubs here. They may be able to actually take all of them, and it does look like Yeah, Ohio does elect to contest these. NIU says, you know what, we're just going to take the one and look to reset here. Fury taken very low, so I don't really think NIU has the ability to contest this, especially with Delirious. They're able to burst down. One is the side of Ohio. So if there's any consolation for NIU, they didn't give up all 6, but they do lose 5, so that does mean that the Huskies are going to have to fight through these little grublings as Ohio gets anywhere close to their turrets. So a little bit of a tough situation to be in. Obviously, Vi in a nice spot, 150 gold as the bounty, sitting on a Sundered Sky, which is a really nice item for the Vi. So overall, though, Delirious, though, going to be engaged upon by Fury here. Now, Echo is going to show up in Broccoli, so we'll see if NIU elects to take this fight. That's a lot of damage, but again, a very tanky Udyr. Now, the stun does come through, but that's going to be the dash forward, slice and dice, and it's going to be a kill over to Broccoli. And do you like, I don't know, I was going to make a joke there, but about sushi, but I don't even know what to make that joke about. So what I'll say is at least it's still going over towards NIU.
Absolutely. We're going to see Dragon come online here in about a minute and a half, minute 20. Looking to get set up for it.
Styx getting a lot of damage on towards Beach Hill and does have the ultimate available, but now going to be disengaged and turned around. Nautilus is here. That's going to be flashing. Nicely done by Beach Hill and able to get away from that one. That's going to be now the curtain call. Taking a lot of damage is McCroth, and now he finds the wrong one. They are able to find the right one, though. Beach Hill going to grab the kill. Ultimate from Ezreal almost does spell death for the for Beach Hill and on this Aurelion Soul. But with the dragon spawning in just a little bit here, a little over 20 seconds, looking at it, it is just about 40 seconds, my apologies. Does mean that now you're going to look to just clear out this bot lane and potentially look for the advantage on that Drake and put themselves at 2.
Absolutely.
Now, if we look at it, though,
kills are lined
go
up.
ahead,
Kills are evened up again, and actually a gold advantage for NIU now.
Yeah, I mean, and on top of that, NIU's got a lot of vision towards this bot lane, so they have the opportunity to take the dragon with that vision, the vision advantage here. A little bit. This is going to be a little bit tough for Fury. Obviously, having to fight through the Udyr, who can kind of just rotate through his spells. Oh, nicely done, Bootwear. Finding the LeBlanc as she was stepping on a ward. McCroth a little bit over aggressive, and now you're going to be able to get their mid laner here. Lots of damage coming through in the top lane, but it won't matter as much. Fury going to go ahead and look to potentially re-engage on this. But NIU will just go towards the dragon. They're going to look to potentially set this up, maybe look for a pick. And Fury stepping back, he really doesn't want to give up this wave. And neither of these top laners do have teleports, so neither of them can rotate down for the dragon. But now you're going to start it up on the Drake. Does look like Fury now going to go in himself and just continuing to trade back and forth. So on the dragon, it's about half HP. NIU to go ahead and go in. They do end up losing this one. Smite Fight does go over towards the side of Vi. Lots of damage coming through from the jungler here of Ohio, and while that's all happening, Beach Hill does end up grabbing one back on towards the side of Ohio. Damage coming through, nicely done. Beach Hill able to grab actually, that's 2 kills over towards the side of the Huskies, but double kill. Both are on X reloaded. Stick's going to be able to grab a kill of his own, but it'll be traded back with one on towards Beach Chillin', and so it will just be, I believe, the extended 2 for 3 in favor of the Huskies, or maybe that was even a 1 for 3, looking at that score line. A really nicely done fight by NIU. Do lose the dragon, which was a little bit unfortunate for them, but in the end, they end up getting the advantage off of the kills, and so it's a really nicely played fight when all is said and done.
Absolutely, and a lot of brawling up in the top lane. I mean, both people really low right now, trying to wait for one to slip up. We're gonna see Fury or Delirious make a slip up here, and one of them's gonna go down.
Yeah, the empowered slice and dice is available, but Fury now does not have. Oh, he does have flash, able to get away from that one. Now this is going to be the damage coming through. Now everybody's here. NIU gonna go ahead and use the stun on towards Vi. Not able to grab anything out of it, though. They do elect to TP in a couple of members there, but Ohio doing a nice job of just counter reacting, and NIU not able to grab the kills. So a lot used there from the side of the Huskies, and NIU will now look to grab something. Actually, Stick's going to be stepping. Oh, just gets out of that one, but now the follow-up does come through. Be chillin'. The bailout does mean the Sticks won't fall right away, but that's going to be another kill over towards Be chillin', and then another one on towards the jungler here, Broccoli. Delirious is here, and NIU is a little low, so we'll see if NIU wants to go back in on this one. They do elect to just back away. They might look to potentially take this Rift Herald. Nope, they just decide to rotate their to rotate Fury down towards the bot lane and just continue to push in and try to get a second turret here for the ADC here, Jin of X Reloaded. Second turret, first turret, sorry. That one just went down for Fury down in the bot lane. And now you should have the advantage here, able to take the Herald if they so choose, but does look like Broccoli's just setting up for it. Yep, now does start it. So they have the support here as well as X Reloaded. So those guys will probably rotate on down, and NIU will grab that Herald as well and put themselves on a nice, pretty much even out the objectives at this point, where they lost a few of the grubs, but then the dragons are even, and now actually Styx might look to steal this. Actually is able to steal it, and that's just unfortunate for NIU. Not really able to do a whole lot about that. Neither of these junglers had the fully empowered smite, and so lost. Oh, that's going to be bailout. Fury is going to be able to grab one, but now X Reloaded is going to grab a kill of his own. And overall, these kills are just going kind of back and forth. It is a 3-for-2 in favor of NIU, but Ohio may be able to grab one back. Fury is able to grab it on towards Delirious instead. And so now it is just the 4-for-2 in favor of the Huskies, and a really nice fight that was pretty chaotic, but ends up with the Huskies on top.
Absolutely, and we're going to see some big recalls here. Taking a little breather. We got Infernal Drake up in about 1 minute here.
Yep, about a minute on Infernal. That'll be the first one towards it. I was going to ask you, so what do you think about the new Infernal Soul and the little like embers that spawn around the map?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I think it adds a little aspect of like giving a bit of advantage to those who roam around a lot. I mean, if your vision scores, particularly good, if you have a lot of vision and people in the right spots, I mean, it definitely can help out with those stacks. It's very interesting to play around.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a bit of a. It feels a little different, obviously, compared to the old Infernal Drake, considering that the old Infernal was all about kind of. It still sped you up, but it was all about changing the map a little bit. And obviously, with all the map changes they made this off season, they decided to kind of change the direction the Infernal Drake went. Now that's a nicely done with the dredge line, actually able to predict it, but not able to do the damage. And so the curtain call does land all the shots, but not really able to grab a lot of damage because the tanks were the ones getting hit by those first few shots. And NIU, just going to go ahead. Fury going to be hit by this ultimate from Ezreal, and does give this slight advantage over towards Ohio for this dragon fight. NIU does elect to just go forward with this one. We're going to be in a tough spot, taken very low. Ultimate does come out from the support here of NIU. Nicely done with the dredge line. Able to land this one. Ultimate comes through from Chill, and that's going to be the first kill over towards the Huskies. Now a second that goes on over towards Broccoli. NIU going to be able to recall their ultimate, or use the ultimate there on the jungler, and that'll be a double kill over towards Chillin. But now he's following up with the damage. Oh no, LeBlanc able to follow through, and she's going to grab one of her own. So it'll be a 1-for-3 in favor of the Huskies. Fury a little bit low. Got to be careful of McCroth there, especially with Bootware being so low himself. But look at that. NIU going to go ahead and just do the dragon here. No jungler available for the side of Ohio. NIU will grab the Infernal, and Broccoli will be running out of there as quickly as he can.
I mean, incredible showing there and a dragon, to say the least. I mean, a lot going in favor of NIU now. I mean, a 5K gold advantage with 8 more kills. I mean, we're seeing NIU start to pull away here.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Obviously, Broccoli's going to get a lot of credit here, considering that he has done a lot of damage in a lot of these kills. But slowly and surely, look at that Jin again from Extra
Mm-hmm.
Loaded, now sitting on 4, 1, and 10, so 14 KDA already here in this game. Nearly a 78, I think, percent uh, kill percentage or kill participation. So just a really nicely played game here by Extra Loaded on this Jin. And so yeah, NIU gonna try to hold their mid lane. I think with that Herald spawned, especially now that it's being commanded here by Renata, will mean their mid lane tier 1 will fall. But Ohio possibly overcommitting here. Echo going to be sitting on the side. A lot of damage does get spotted out, and that's actually going to be the burst coming through from the side of Ohio. NIU not really where you want to be. The ultimate does get used by Renata, and that's actually going to be a bit of a tough situation for the Huskies. They've got to get out of this one, as that is already 1.5 kills going over towards the side of Ohio. And you may ask how a half kill goes down, but I just mean the health bars. So kill going over towards the side of Ohio, and it will mean that NIU does have to disengage from this one. With Baron up, I don't think that that's going to be the priority here for Ohio. I just don't think they're quite strong enough yet, but they will go ahead and set up for at least get some vision to make sure that NIU doesn't do it here in the meantime.
Absolutely. I mean, we do see bounties going up on objectives for Ohio here, trying to get them back in the game, but NIU's just being very oppressive here and really taking their space and really taking the aggression here.
Yeah, I mean, an interesting itemization there from Udyr. I mean, Frozen Heart does really synergize well with his kit, but it's a little bit interesting considering that I don't think most of the damage is coming through from auto attacks here from NIU. It helps with the mana and the health for sure. Stick's going to be playing a little bit aggressively, I would argue, and so I guess with the ability haste as well. The stats are something that Udyr really likes here, but the ability of the item is maybe not as efficient as it could be in different compositions. But anyway, looking at it, I mean, we've got the Baron that is really getting set up for NIU really just electing to slow push and 1-3-1 this as much as possible. They're going to go ahead and just try to farm up to be able to get this this Aurelian Soul as well as the Jin really far ahead and continue to grab them items. So it's a bit of a lull, and with that, I'll ask you kind of what do you think is the next thing that these teams really fight over? Is it the dragon, or do we see a Baron potentially taken before that?
Yeah, I mean, it really could go either way. I could definitely see Ohio trying to even it out with the dragon, go 2 for 2. But, I mean, we see Fury getting some wards down in Baron Pit right now, so we could see a little bit of a shift towards Baron as we do see Ohio starting to walk that way. But it also could be a 2 for 1 if a team fight goes south. I mean, you get two objectives, the Baron and the Drake, and a team fight on top of that. So we'll have to see what comes out of this, if a full wipe happens or if both teams make it out on low health.
Yeah, I mean, interesting here from Ohio. They are going to go ahead and just elect to bring everybody up towards the top side to try to grab this tier 1 turret in the top side. NIU elects to answer that with their with a 5-man play of their own, and that's going to be the ultimate used here from the Nautilus. Wow, a lot of damage on towards Fury as LeBlanc does just blow him up, and it's also going to be Beat Chill and falling, so now it's going to be a route going over towards the side of Ohio. NIU not really able to grab anything here. Will Broccoli at least grab one? Flash comes through from Sticks, and that's enough damage to where I think they're going to have to be careful here. Broccoli just going to go ahead and run out of here. It will continue to be the chase coming through. LeBlanc also taken very low, and the echo here of Broccoli has pretty much single-handedly gotten Ohio to a point where they're not really in a great position. NIU Echo could really dive in here and potentially grab a couple kills. I really don't think that Ohio's in a position to continue to fight this Baron, and yeah, they do elect to back away, and they're so low on the HP that NIU might decide to have their jungler go back in. Now with the teleport coming in from the Aurelion Soul, that's going to be one kill over towards, towards the Vi. And yeah, teleport coming in from Fury as well, ultimate too, and yeah, not a smart play here by Ohio, really overcommitting and overstaying and giving NIU the advantage in this one. NIU should be able to, they won't go ahead and fight the for that tower. The wave is too far pushed away, but they will elect to go towards the Baron after pushing in the mid lane tier 1 turret. So yeah, this will be pretty much a free Baron for the side of NIU. Ohio, to their credit, will do exactly what you said and try to trade this 1-for-1 on the Drake. But look at how much damage Aurelion Soul does to that objective. I mean, it just burns so quickly that I really don't think Ohio's in a great position to be able to potentially take this. Now, NIU backing everybody away, I'll eat my words immediately, as because of NIU's recalls, there's really not an opportunity for NIU to contest this. So Ohio will at least get the 1-for-1 on that perspective. But I think that NIU had the opportunity, if they wanted to go back in and potentially re-engage on this dragon.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, playing a little safe can never be too safe. Keeping everyone alive here.
Holy moly! That was a lot of damage that came through from
That
Echo. Was that the storm surge? Yeah, it was. So yeah, just that storm surge getting procced was enough to kind of burst him down. And so Godad Gogo or God AD Gogo, I'm not really sure which one it is. I'm gonna go with Godad Gogo. Is gets blown up, and so NIU will just be able to push forward on this one and continue to just grab objectives here. So they'll go ahead and try to siege down this mid lane tier 2 turret. And while that's happening, Fury's just going to go ahead and grab some damage on towards the Udyr. A lot of damage on towards Bootware. Bootware is going to fall. NIU could elect to re-engage here. Stick's going to be taken low, but he will go ahead and fall. NIU going to re-engage here with Be Chillin'. Lust's going to be taken low, but Ultimate comes through. Nicely done with the curtain call here from Extra Load, and he draws the curtains on the the Renata. Doesn't really matter in the end because the LeBlanc is able to get the kill turned around. So Fury now going to take Delirious very low, as well as Be Chillin'. And overall, just a 2-for-2 in the trade, and NIU will look to grab this blue buff, steal it away for their own use. About a 5,000 gold lead for NIU, so about where they were last game. But I have to say, I really think that NIU is in enough of an advantageous position that I think that we've got, knock on wood and everything. Don't want to cast curse it, but NIU's in a nice advantageous position, and if they're able to close this out, they will open up their win account for this year. So, Austin, what do you think needs to happen for NIU to close this game out and open that account?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely seen a strong showing here, but as we can see on the bottom, LeBlanc here is 9-2-6 with a nice bounty on her head. So definitely not someone you can tread lightly against, or got to tread lightly against her. Try to stay out of her reach. I mean, we've been doing a great job of seeing Echo Broccoli just bounce out of the route, but definitely a force to be reckoned with. But I think if we just stick together, play our numbers and play to our strengths, I definitely think we can pull it out here. I mean, we've seen Echo dive in many times and just get one kill, take it up 5-4. I mean, we see that a couple more times, this game will be over.
Exactly. And are you doing a lot to make sure that Be Chillin' on this Aurelion Soul is able to continue to just pump out damage? He should be recalling here to grab the Rabadons, so looks like that's going to be the purchase, I want to say. Let's see. Yep, there it is. So interestingly enough, he is still sitting on the Darksteel, only about 5 stacks on that one, so not quite the Magi's yet. But looking up at NIU, lots of burst magic damage here. Udyr now sitting on, I think that Jack Show is a little bit of a better pickup for him, especially with the magic damage here from NIU. So, a little bit better itemization on that second one. Fury going to be caught out here, and yeah, he will just fall. Stick's going to be grabbing the kill. Now Broccoli a little bit overzealous, and this is what you were talking about, where McCroth on this LeBlanc is getting a little bit untenable. It's a little bit difficult for NIU to do anything here if that LeBlanc is at a point where she can just dive in and two-shot anybody. So gonna have to be a little more careful and warding a little bit better is NIU. Luckily, they are going to push the advantage towards this dragon. About 40 seconds for that one, so they'll go ahead and just try to grab some vision on towards the bot lane and potentially set up for this next Drake fight to put themselves on soul point. So we'll see if they're able to do just that. They are going to have vision of Styx here as he goes ahead and steps forward. They also got Vision of Lust as they were clearing out some of that vision. Now, Teleport going to be used from the Udyr, which means that Ohio really thinks this fight is going to be pretty important to this game. Using the Teleport pretty early there to make sure they had inside positioning on the Dragon. And so it really seems like that's where this fight is going to take place here. And honestly, with where this is in the game, there's going to be a lot of value to whoever is able to grab this Drake here. So Echo doing a nice job of getting on the side there. Bootwear going to be taking low flashes away, able to keep himself alive, and that is a really big point for NIU, considering that they forced a lot of the cooldowns off of Ohio here. They are going to grab a turret just from the Winions pushing, and so now Curtain Call going to be used. They're going to be able to grab 1, 2, 3 shots. The third and fourth don't land, but the first two land on the Lust, which kind of forces Lust to step away from this one. And Ohio, I'm not sure that they think they can continue to contest this, especially with Echo off on the side. Rooted up is going to be GoDad Go-Go. And with the Nautilus here, this could be the re-engage from NIU. Bootwear kind of just going to have to reset here. Fury going to be using his ultimate. Now that's going to be Styx taking low. Ultimate comes through from the Aurelion Soul. Blue team is going to get the steal, but is it going to be enough as NIU is able to trade this one 2 for nothing so far, and they're going to go ahead and grab a third extra loaded. Actually, Fury will grab that one, and look at that. Beachillin, nope, not going to survive with just a sliver of health as Ezreal able to use the ultimate, but it won't matter as NIU is going to rotate up towards the Baron, and they'll grab that one for themselves. So Ohio does get 1 kill and gets the Dragon out of it, but NIU will take that trade every day till Sunday. They'll go ahead and grab the Baron, and they should be able to grab themselves even more of an advantage in this map state here. Although LeBlanc, you're going to have to be careful if you're NIU. LeBlanc does decide, you know what, just going to step away and not choose to engage. I think that's probably a wise decision, and it does mean that the Baron goes over towards the Huskies. Looking across the board, still LeBlanc being really the problem, the thorn in NIU's side here from McCroth, sitting on that 400 gold bounty, really the only, I mean, looking at it, the only one going positive so far, but really the true carry for this Ohio team. So we'll have to see if NIU is able to kind of clean things up and take down the LeBlanc. Getting a kill on her probably spells the end of the game, and you have to imagine that that's why the side of NIU, oh my gosh, half HP at least, so does get some damage, but that's going to be TP used now by NIU. That's going to be the slow as well. Styx going to be forced to flash away. Ultimate going to be used as well. That's going to be ultimate as well from Renata. Now NIU is going to be able to grab 1, now 2, as Styx is going to fall. Broccoli will grab that one. The first one goes over towards Fury. Now NIU with Fury will go ahead and just dive on forward. Half of his HP does fall with that LeBlanc stun. Now, that's a lot of damage from Beachillin with the Aurelion Soul just diving forward, and he'll grab the inhibitor. They may not even need to kill the LeBlanc to end. That's going to be enough to get him away. NIU will go ahead and start putting damage on towards this Nexus turret in the top half of the map. Actually, Ezreal will grab the damage on towards the Aurelion Soul, which is not where you want to be. NIU shuts down the LeBlanc with the nice ultimate there from Broccoli. Now he's going to be able to grab the damage on towards the jungler and towards the Udyr. Double kill over towards Fury. And right when I thought that we were about to end it, it does mean just enough time that the jungler, and the support of Ohio do respawn. NIU's damage dealers really aren't here, but Fury is just baiting the dash forward is the Vi. Now that's going to be interrupted here. Vi not able to grab enough damage. Fury going to stick around. He's going to get the kill. Berserk goes to Broccoli, but isn't going to get the kill on towards the Fury. Fury goes ahead and ends. And wow, what a crazy end. But it does mean that the series goes over to NIU, and they'll go ahead and grab their first match win of the season. Stick around for just a minute. I believe we'll grab one of the players. I'm gonna guess that we're gonna try to get extra loaded here with two fantastic performances on the Jhin, finishing off with a total KDA of 13, 4, and 23. So a really nice performance here on the Jhin by X Reloaded. We'll go ahead and try to grab him, and we'll be right back with your post-game interview.
All right. We are back in. Still waiting on X Reloaded here. We are back for you.
Just got word from the team. They're going to go ahead and send him over in just a second. So we are going to go ahead and give the interview to X Reloaded this time. We'll try to rotate on through with the different players from the team. Sounds like we're getting a bit of Not sure if Extra Loaded is super ready to do the interview quite yet, but we'll check on it. You know what? We'll wait and do Extra Loaded a different day. We'll go ahead and send. We're gonna send it over to Broccoli instead. We'll get him for the post game today. So he'll be joining us in just a second. He's heading over to the broadcasting room, and then we'll get everybody set up. But yeah, so a great match here from the Huskies, able to take it 2-0 and move themselves to 1-3 on the year. So they do open up that win column. Austin, what was your key to this game?
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple different really strong showings from NIU here. I mean, obviously, we'll hear from Broccoli in just a second about how dominant that Evelyn and that Echo was. I mean, in that jungle to put pressure on the enemy team. But, I mean, it was really great. I liked seeing the communication, having everyone where they needed to be at the right time. I mean, you're calling for assistance up in top lane. You're calling for, hey, I see someone walking through jungle. Like, let's jump on him. I think the communication was really big today. I think we saw a major change in that, finding our first win here. I think we definitely seen a lot of improvement on the side of NIU moving towards this collaborative effort.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that that's a testament to you got to have good vision control if you're going to have those um, types of strong performances as a team and be able to rotate like that. And I think NIU did a great job of controlling the vision. Um, Obviously, we're getting the interview here with Broccoli. Extra Loaded did a great job of just holding his own and really nice KDA for this one. So props to him. But yeah, absolutely, Broccoli. You heard it from well, you guys didn't hear it yet, but it did come from the teammates, saying he's the carry for this game. Obviously, you know, when you're the carry, especially on those assassins, you sometimes get a few deaths here and there, but he definitely was putting the damage out for the team. And so we'll have him joining us in just a second to talk a little bit about it. So obviously, we'll give you a little intro to Broccoli. We'll ask him a little bit about what it means to be a part of the team. Obviously a new member of the team, not just this year, but this semester. So um, we'll get all of that set up and ready to go for you here in just a second. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And yesterday you guys on the Overwatch team able to pull out your first win as well. So NIU getting in the win column this week. Obviously it was a tough start for the season. So, um, but now getting to the point where, oh,
Second. Yeah, absolutely. And if you give me just 1 minute here, I'll have our special guest.
absolutely.
All right.
Yes.
So here with me, I have one of the stars of the show. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Alex, also known as Broccoli. I played Evelyn and some Echo today, some AP Assassins.
Yes, you did, and really nice job getting the wins there today. Really nicely played on those champs.
You're too
Obviously,
kind,
putting out a
Connor. You're
ton.
too kind.
I try, but obviously putting out a bunch of damage on those champions. So, obviously, how did it feel to get not just the team's first win of the year, but your first win as part of the varsity League of Legends team?
I'm on cloud nine. I won't. They played all right. They played all right. They could have played a little bit better, but we just it felt amazing. I won't lie. The feeling, it feels like cloud nine. I got to play with my favorite solo queue champs, Evelyn, and I dropped 20 kills. So it was, and on top of that, the enemy jungler was an Evelyn main. So, you know, I had to do it to him. It felt amazing. 10 out of 10
hitting them with
experience,
their
would
own.
do it again.
Exactly. I mean, you're just hitting them with their own medicine. I mean, that's always a great feeling for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously you're a newcomer to the team. We were just saying not just for this year, but for this semester. So obviously a little bit of a slow start for the team, playing some of the toughest teams in the conference.
Yeah, very true.
What's the mentality been like as you guys have been able to kind of push through that and now get that first victory?
Like you said, it's true. I came into this semester with the team. Obviously, I kind of knew everyone beforehand. We're all good friends, but we hadn't played that structured environment together. And the mental in the beginning, I won't lie, it was pretty rough. It was very rough, especially after the second game of the year. But now I feel like we're getting into our groove. We're finding what we like. We like the carry mid jungle. We like playing for bot. We like stacking dragons. And now that we've kind of found what we enjoy, I think we're going to stick with it and hopefully just refine it even more. And we had a few deaths today that we didn't need to have, myself included. And, just try to perfect that strategy and move forward from there.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And that's been, I've been obviously doing the casting and as well as being a part of the program for, it's been a while now. And I've seen a lot of different iterations of teams, and obviously how you push through some of that adversity is always a big point of conversation. And so it's been really, it's been pretty heartening. I'm not gonna lie to hear you guys kind of push through that, and to see now the fruits of that effort with this first win is pretty awesome to see. Kind of switching gears a little bit, so I guess not specific to this game, but just what does it mean to be a part of the NIU Sports Varsity program for you?
Ooh, that's a good question. It means a lot to me. It really shows, I've been playing League for a long time, more than I'm afraid to admit. And it feels like I've kind of reached a point where I get to play with, the best that NIU has, with some of the best players and some great friends. And it means camaraderie. It means representing the school. It means having fun, That's at least to me what it means.
And we always ask this, but what makes that environment so different than like your average solo queue game? To you, at
Oh
least.
man, it's as a jungler, it's night and day. Because in solo queue, first off, I can tell, I know exactly what my laners are thinking. I know what my top lane wants to do. I know what my mid lane wants to do, and bot lane wants to do. In a perfect world, obviously, communication comes with that. In solo queue, in the jungle, sometimes it feels like you against the world. You got to mute up, and you just got to play the game. And it is so much more enjoyable playing with these guys. And I really wouldn't want to play with anyone else, so it's awesome.
Absolutely. So, I mean, that's all wonderful to hear. And Austin, do you have any questions here for Alex while we got you?
I guess kind of the one question I have is, I mean, we've seen you trend today towards like the Evelyn and the Echo. I mean, how did it feel to just pop out of the bush and just one shot? I mean, we saw the Echo plays. We saw you jump in there and
you
recall.
ask such nice questions.
I mean,
oh,
I was getting off while watching that. It was great.
It felt
so
awesome.
fun.
I always used to play assassin, carry junglers, and solo queue. That's just what I've been kind of comfortable with and what I enjoy playing, what kind of got me into League. And it felt great to kind of transition a little. I'm not saying that the Wukong and Jarvan won't come back out again, because those will, and they definitely will. But it felt great to be on some comfort picks and just having a blast and doing what I can to try to carry. Not so much on the Echo game. I did good, but, well, I didn't have too much practice on that one leading into
I mean, it looked phenomenal.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Absolutely.
Super fun, champs.
Glad to hear.
So obviously first win, the toughy question, but what's the ceiling? What's the goal? What's the ceiling for this team?
So the goal is, after we take first place, obviously, in CLOL, is to go to Korea, take on SK Telecom at Worlds after we dominate the Academy team. That's a given. And then beat Faker, beat Owner 1v1, invade him on Evelyn, pick Evelyn in pro play. Tons of women screaming everywhere. I mean, fans everywhere. It's just going to be a blast. That's the next step.
Well,
but first, we'll win CLOL.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, so you heard it here first. Broccoli promising a CELO national championship as well as a world's championship. I mean, uh,
Who knows what will
is
happen
there
after
anything
CELO?
that this man doesn't dream for?
I might switch to
Obviously.
Valorant and drop 50 on their team too. We'll see what
Wow.
happens.
I mean, there you go. So, well, it's been great chatting with you, Alex. Thank
you,
you so
Connor.
much for the interview, and congrats on the win.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight here with NIU Esports against Ohio as NIU takes the dub 2-0, and we'll move on to play once again on Saturday. So we're still figuring out exactly who's going to be on the broadcast for Saturday. So we know that I will for sure be there. We're still figuring out who's going to join me, but so we'll have a mystery guest of some sort. Have a fun guessing game in the chat as to who you think that might end up being, and maybe who knows? Maybe we'll take that as a suggestion rather than a guess. But anyway, until then. For myself, Connor Vagel, as well as my broadcast partner today, Austin Austie125. Austin, any last words for us?
I mean, go Huskies. What else can you say?
Exactly. Go Huskies, and have a great night, everybody.